Yes. Queen's Park, Savannah, how you feeling, y'all? Y'all wanna big up my people from Mova. Where my Mova people at? Where my Laventille people there? St. James, take a march and big up Arima, Tobago, Grenada.
You are like a legend in broadcasting and radio in Trinidad and Tobago. It has been over 20 years. How long has it been?
Well, probably about 29. Yeah, like this year probably could make it 29 if I already do my calculations correct.
If I say I was always listening to you, I'll be selling out myself. And I'm ready to do that. Where did you get the name Rodney Fireball King? Where did that come out?
Well, the correct name is Rodney King. So the Fireball came from when I now started radio with the speed in my delivery. I can't remember who it would have been back in 98.9 days when I was saying, boy, King, boy, you're firing up, boy, like a fireball. And that way it came up from there. But the name is Rodney King, so the Fireball came from the speed in delivery. They speak fast, but yet still clear. Yeah.
Did you start radio first or did you start doing parties first?
Radio. I started radio first. Yeah, I started radio at the age of probably 19. Yeah.
And then the promoters called for the Fireball.
Yeah. From there, I did MC a couple concerts well. MC concerts with various artists like Boju and Sizzler and Capleton and Luciano. A lot to name. So I would have been MCing a lot of concerts back then. Right. Looking forward to doing some more now, but...
Yes. Your first time on radio, how was it for you?
Well, the first time on radio was nervous, because that time I was a teenager and I did a morning show, and apparently I was the person who launched the station itself. That was Radio Superior, 94.1, which is now Boom Champions. Right. And that was the late Calypsonian Lord Superior. When he finally got through with his license and he got his radio station, I did the morning show, and I was the first person on air, and that was a nervous time for me. First time on air, and first time on this new radio station that now launched and now being introduced to the population. So, but after that, it was chalk and cheese.
What helped you actually get or hone into your skills and master who you are on radio? What helped?
Well, the constant practicing. When I started, I used to practice a lot. You know, you just sound like crazy, but I used to practice a lot home, pretending to be on radio and talking like on radio and things. So up to this day, you know, I still do my stuff practicing. I always tell people as well, like when I do my tutoring and thing, I tell people they must listen over themselves still. Because up to today as well, I just still get recordings of some of my programs and listen. And with that way, you see and you hear mistakes you probably make or some stuff you was repetitious with words you're using over and over and probably didn't even realize it. So it's things like that I do to just improve on the craft.
So as you mentioned, listening to yourself, all right, as I said, that's a big one for me. And I've also met other people who say that is you really have to be able to accept what it is you're going to hear, because sometimes it might be like, oh shucks, I really say that. You ever had a time where you struggle with something that you used to do while you're talking or in your content, that when you listen to yourself you realize, hey, this is not it?
Yeah. Couple times up to today, up to these present times and all. Sometimes when I listen over some of my programs, I might find myself repeating some words over and over and over. And when you're live on air, you wouldn't realize that you're being repetitious with that word is concerned. But when you listen over and you hear it, for example, sometimes I listen over and realize I using the word "of course" for like about 15 to 20 times within an hour, and that song real irritated. So my little thing to avoid making that mistake is I write down the word "of course" because I realize that is the word I'm repeating a lot, and I just rest it in front of me. So like when you're doing your broadcasting and you find you're going to say it, you're seeing it in front of you, so you use something else instead of it, just to avoid being repetitious and using the word over and over and over. So that is one little trick I've done with regards to listening over myself, and because I'm sure you probably listen to a lot of announcers on radio these days, and you find why they're saying this word over and over and over, but to them they're not realizing that they're repeating it. If they listen it over, they'll be like, yeah boy, I really say this one word about 1,000 times in my shift. Writing down stuff what you want to say as well is an important thing. If you know you're not going to be fluent, if you're not going to flow, you could jot down little things, just to remind yourself to keep that flow. But after the years and the experience, with me personally, I will be fluent with the stuff I'm saying. But for people probably now starting off, and you can jot down things, write down.
And eventually your confidence will build. Another topic I want to touch on, right? There is a debate about the way someone's supposed to speak on radio, especially local radio. Some people think you have to speak, what they will call Trinidadian, and then when you're speaking and you're making proper pronunciation, they have an issue with that. How do you feel about topics like that?
Well, when you check radio itself is supposed to be one of the requirements of radio in the early days is proper pronunciation, speaking well, reading. Because if I go back again to my first time when I got called to 98.9, the first thing I had to do is sit down in front of an individual and read news for them. Already hired, but I had to sit down and read one-on-one to this person. And, that just show you how the reading and the pronunciation and those stuff, very important. Where radio is concerned, original radio that we know.
Having a style where, you're not really, you're talking street, as they call it, street. Do you think that too is like something that could work in radio as well?
Well, you could still be hip and have your slangs and stuff, because once again, I could for myself, that what people said I'm known for with the proper pronunciation still, but still keep a flow and a vibes.
You mix it with the slang.
Yeah, with the slang, because I like the slang boss. With the straight out and over, no crossover, and them kind of things. Them is slangs I can't, but still maintain the proper pronunciation, which is a real radio. But they can still touch the streets with the things Yeah.
What about, like for reggae, like local reggae, there's also an argument where they say, why do they speak like Jamaican artists? Like, when they come on stage and do their greeting. Some seem to have an issue with local reggae artists speaking in a Jamaican patois. What do you think about that?
Well, that is a very kind of a touchy one as well, because I hear people saying it as well. I say when like interviews with local artists, homegrown artists, and they talk in Jamaican and stuff like that. They say, well, they're from Trinidad, but I think the music and the genre and where it originated as a Jamaican culture, I think that probably influencing how they're speaking. That's to match that original Jamaican vibe, because it's a Jamaican culture. So I feel it's just automatic that they swing to that Jamaican.
How do you identify, I have a gift? Is it that people hear your voice and tell you, or do you have a passion to speak? Did you always want to be on the stage to do announcements, that kind of thing? Or was it a particular time someone said, you have a voice, you have a gift?
Well, I wanted to be on radio since the age of 5 years old. I always tell this story, at 5 and taking swivel stick and putting it in the fan. Stick it in the fan and pretend to be on radio. Until one day I forget the fan on and I press the knob to start. And that was chaos. But the love for radio been since 5 years old, and always been practicing, pretending to be on radio, from since that time to now.
Is it more difficult in the parties, or is it more challenging being on radio?
Well,
where do you fit? Where do you express best?
Radio. Radio is me full 100. The party, I will do the party and like the party because it gives me opportunity to meet people on a one-on-one, because radio is just you, right. So full 100 radio. I love the radio, but I don't mind the party to get to interact with people on a one-on-one at times.
Do you still feel nervous before a shift?
To be honest, no.
What about a party? Is it more nerve-wracking, or let's say a big concert where you see in the 100,000 people or 20,000 people? Is it like really nerve-wracking that you have to go speak before these people?
Yeah, very, very, very nerve-wracking, and yeah, real panic thing, and then but when you do touch, is be a difference after. Because if I have any event to do, because I've done some events, well, reggae events, because I don't really play much parties and thing. As I say, full 100 radio, but I did 2 events which have been reggae parties, and I was nervous before, scared. I think I ready to change my mind and go back home. But when the start is that's it, all nerves done. Yeah.
When it comes to connecting with people, what would you say is really important?
Well, reading a lot. Reading a lot is important. Reading the newspapers these days. It's on the social media, so you'll see some issues people dealing with, and you could probably go on it and talk about some issues, and with the music as well to kind of connect with some of the issues. And I was telling my adrian earlier on there, I said, but since I'm in radio the 20-something years, my content and vibes always would have been a positive kind of energy. That's giving people some inspiration and inspiring them to do things, and just kind of trying to motivate them. And then reggae music and its all. So if you go back to the reggae music again, that is come like the ideal cushion for that positive message to get out there, the reggae music,
Will you say that, we have a large reggae music following in Trinidad, like based on your experience and what you're seeing out there in terms of the requests from people?
Yeah, reggae huge. People love reggae from ever since. People always love the reggae music, and you're seeing it evolving more now. People, falling back in love with the reggae once again, because you're seeing it reflecting in some of the concerts. You see with the turnout and the response to the reggae, and the amount of people and the variety and stuff. So reggae really definitely is a genre that people loving up right now, so to speak.
Has reggae always been a huge part of your repertoire while you were performing over the years?
Yeah. For my radio career, from back in the early 98.9 days, I did a show with Dr. Hyde called Zion Train, which was strictly reggae. A couple of years ago, I had a show on 96.1 called Dancehall Good to We. Even though it was a lot of dance, it was dancehall as well, but the reggae would have been a heavy on it as well, and very, very, very popular programs. So people really, really love the reggae, and in this time, as you mentioned, it's very important for that reggae music to get back into the society, because of the vibes you get off of it. That positive vibes and a niceness. Reggae is love. And with the society, with the crazy things that's going on, we need love. So we need, more of these kind of nice vibes. We can come and have a good time, dance and sing out tunes and just have a good time. And reggae music is one of the genre that actually brings out that a lot,
Do you remember when they started the whole idea of local artists singing reggae songs, or started to really get deep into that genre? Do you remember a time while you were on radio when that happened?
Yeah. To say exact year and timing, can't remember right now, but I remember that timing when it had the Studio 53 and the Finland House in St. James. They had the rhythms, and it was an exciting time with the artists, coming out and doing their thing. So I remember it from way back in that timing.
What you think holding us back from really hitting? Queen Omega, as I mentioned before, she hit that level, but more of our artists to really produce songs that really take us on a global scale. Do you think that we are missing a certain element to execute the genre in the right space?
Yeah, definitely. What need is that platform for reggae music to be heard, because we know it have great artists and great songs outside in Trinidad and Tobago. Great artists, great songs, but they don't have the platform to be heard. So that's why I will give your reggae show, Full Clappers, because it giving the homegrown artists the opportunity to be heard. And I'm sure you'll be getting a lot of some names you probably never heard about. And when you hear the quality and the talent of these artists, you'll be like, wait, with them was all the time, boy. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll also compliment you as a promoter, because you're doing the same thing. You're having a promotion where you're giving them a platform to perform live. The same artists, the new generation reggae artists. So, I mean, these are the kind of things that we want to see. And also, again, mad love to Reggae and the Hill, because they are doing it as well. An entire venue dedicated for the performance of the local reggae artists. I really think that, reggae is really back, making a comeback, and this is really an opportunity for the local artists to really get what they've been asking for, a space.
Definitely. And with the Reggae and the Hill, unlike, my event, remember my event will be a one-off, and probably I will do other stuff where reggae is concerned, definitely, but Reggae and the Hill is a place where you could go for reggae music. It's there. And by the blessings of the Most High, it will continue to be there and grow bigger and bigger, and give the artists a place and a space to come and perform their songs and see the people have a nice time, and
Eventually we'll have a Reggae Central in Queen's Park, Savannah, something like that. But before you go, I have to get a little deeper into Rodney Fireball King. Tell me about Louis culture. What it is exactly appeals to you, about Louis culture that makes him, you always saying it as your favorite artist?
Well, way back in the 98.9 days, I hearing some Louis culture songs, and some of these songs will have, I could identify myself with. And he unique style and the way he executed his stuff. I say, well, this artist bad, boy. So from since that time to now, I say Louis culture my artist. So we moved from being my artist, my brethren, and and from ever since always, Full Clappers to Louis. Boy.
What is your favorite Louis culture? You don't have a favorite?
I don't have a favorite, but one that I find myself will be singing and listening to a lot is the Foundation from Birth.
I love that one. Full Clappers for that one too.
Yeah, for real.
Thank you so much for coming out and having this chat with me. I mean, I really, really appreciate all you had to say.
Well, it's been a pleasure being here, and I tell you, it's been an honor being on Reggae on the Hill. And I must say, with that Moby, Full Clappers to that Moby. So, you know what I mean? People that have good vibes, that have good reggae-matical vibes, some nice little cool little vibration, and the whole little reasoning with some hydrants and some nice little sisterings that's holding our vibes, and talking about some good thing, good energy, reggae on the hill.
You feel the breeze? Feel this breeze?
Yeah, real nice, so respect.
So Rodney, thanks a lot, and I'll see you soon. Yeah,
definitely, and all the best on your show as well, and keep doing your thing.
Thank you so much.
Respect to me virgin will birth, but from the woman them we non divert. It no hurt for us to this mama hurt. So grassroots now bow down low. You must be mad we could not do that. Foundation from birth. Although the running slow, get a youths a feet jackpot. We know we right first. Where them say bow down low.